Tonight, while you sleep, your brain is either healing itself or slowly breaking down. You may think you're just tired from aging, but what if your bedroom is silently accelerating it? The most dangerous health problems often begin with something that feels completely harmless. By the end of this video, you'll understand why some people stay mentally sharp at 70, while others begin fading at 55. What I'm about to show you could change the way you sleep for the rest of your life. Margaret kept her bedroom at 74 degrees every single night. She'd done it for 23 years. Said she couldn't sleep if she felt even a little bit cold. Her husband had passed away a decade earlier, so now she controlled the thermostat completely. Comfortable, cozy, safe. But what Margaret didn't know was that her comfortable bedroom was quietly destroying something she couldn't get back. And she's not alone. If you're over 50, if you keep your bedroom warm at night, if you wake up feeling unrested even after 7 or 8 hours, what I'm about to show you might explain why you're aging faster than you should, why your memory isn't what it used to be, and why your risk of stroke, heart attack, and even dementia could be climbing every single night while you sleep. Stay with me, because the temperature you sleep in tonight could determine how well your brain works 10 years from now. Over the last 15 years, I've worked with thousands of patients struggling with sleep issues, and I've studied the emerging research on sleep science, thermoregulation, and aging. What we've discovered in the last decade isn't just about feeling tired, it's about survival. The temperature of your bedroom, something most people never think twice about, is directly affecting your cardiovascular system, your brain's ability to clean itself, your blood sugar regulation, and even your kidney function. And for people over 50, the consequences are far more serious than anyone realized. Because here's what most doctors won't tell you during a 15-minute appointment: your body's ability to regulate temperature changes as you age. And if you don't adjust your environment accordingly, you're putting stress on systems that are already vulnerable. But let me show you exactly what's happening and why it matters so much. Let me ask you something. How do you feel when you wake up in the morning, refreshed? Or like you never really slept at all? Do you wake up multiple times during the night? Do you feel hot, then cold, then hot again? Most people think that's just part of getting older. It's not. Here's what's actually happening. Your body has a natural temperature rhythm. Throughout the day, your core temperature rises and falls in a predictable pattern. And at night, something crucial needs to happen. Your body temperature must drop, not just a little. We're talking about a 1 to 2 degree decrease in your core body temperature. This drop is one of the most important signals that tells your brain it's time for deep, restorative sleep. But here's the problem. If your bedroom is too warm, your body can't complete this temperature drop. It tries, but it can't get there. And when that happens, you never enter the deeper stages of sleep that your brain desperately needs. You might be in bed for 8 hours, but your brain, it's only getting 4 hours of actual restorative sleep. And that gap between how long you're in bed and how much quality sleep you're actually getting, that's where the danger lives. Let me tell you about Robert. Robert was 67 when he came to see me. Retired engineer, sharp mind. Still did crossword puzzles every morning. But he'd started forgetting things. Little things at first. Where he put his keys. What he went to the grocery store for. His daughter's phone number, a number he'd known for 40 years. His doctor ran tests. No Alzheimer's markers. No major cognitive decline. Just normal aging, they said. But Robert didn't feel normal. He felt like his mind was slipping away. When I asked him about his sleep, he said he slept fine. 8 hours every night. Same routine for years. Then I asked him, "What temperature do you keep your bedroom?" He looked at me like I was crazy. "What does that have to do with anything?" "Just humor me," I said. 75 degrees, he told me. My wife likes it warm. Now, you might be thinking, 75 degrees? That sounds reasonable. Comfortable, even. But here's what was happening to Robert every single night. His brain was trying to enter deep sleep, the stage where your brain cleans itself, where it consolidates memories, where it removes toxic proteins that build up during the day. But because his body couldn't cool down properly, he was spending most of the night in light sleep, the kind of sleep that doesn't restore you, the kind that doesn't protect your brain. And those toxic proteins, the same ones associated with dementia and Alzheimer's, they were accumulating night after night, year after year. Robert's bedroom temperature wasn't just making him uncomfortable, it was eroding his memory. But we're going to come back to Robert in a minute. Because what happened when he made one simple change? That's the part that might give you hope. First, I need to show you what's happening inside your body right now. When you sleep in a room that's too warm, your body enters a state of mild stress. Let me explain. Your autonomic nervous system, the part of your nervous system that controls things you don't think about, like heart rate and breathing, has two modes: parasympathetic, rest and repair; sympathetic, fight or flight. When you're trying to sleep but your body can't cool down, your sympathetic nervous system stays partially activated. You're not in full fight or flight mode, but you're not in rest and repair either. You're stuck in between. And when you're stuck there all night long, several dangerous things happen. Your heart rate stays elevated, not dramatically, maybe just 5 to 10 beats per minute higher than it should be. But over 8 hours, that's thousands of extra heartbeats. Your cardiovascular system never gets the deep rest it needs. For someone over 50, especially if you already have high blood pressure or heart disease, this is like running your car engine at high RPM all night long. Eventually, something's going to wear out. Your blood pressure doesn't dip the way it should. In a healthy sleep cycle, your blood pressure drops by 10 to 20% during the night. Doctors call this dipping, and it's essential for cardiovascular health. But when you can't cool down, your blood pressure stays elevated. You become a non-dipper. And research shows that non-dippers have significantly higher rates of stroke, heart attack, and kidney disease. Your deep sleep gets cut in half. Deep sleep, also called slow wave sleep, is when your brain activates something called the glymphatic system. Think of it as your brain's cleaning crew. During deep sleep, cerebral spinal fluid washes through your brain, flushing out metabolic waste, including beta amyloid proteins. Beta amyloid is the same protein that forms plaques in the brains of Alzheimer's patients. But here's the critical part. This cleaning process only happens during deep sleep. If you're not getting deep sleep because your bedroom is too warm, your brain isn't getting cleaned. Those toxic proteins build up. And over years, over decades, they can lead to cognitive decline, memory loss, and dementia. Now, most people hear this and think, okay, I'll just turn down the thermostat a little. But it's not quite that simple, because there's something else happening that makes this even more dangerous for people over 50. Here's what most people don't understand about aging and temperature regulation. When you're young, in your 20s and 30s, your body is incredibly efficient at cooling itself down. You produce melatonin easily, your blood vessels dilate properly, your sweat response works perfectly, but after 50, everything changes. Your melatonin production drops. And melatonin doesn't just make you sleepy, it also helps lower your core body temperature. Your blood vessels become less responsive. They don't dilate as efficiently, which means heat doesn't dissipate from your core to your extremities the way it used to. Your sweat glands produce less sweat. So even if you feel hot, your body's natural cooling mechanisms aren't working like they used to. And here's the cruel irony. As you age, you become more sensitive to temperature disruptions in your sleep, but less able to regulate your own body temperature, so the problem compounds. You need a cooler environment more than ever, but your body is worse at adapting to any environment. And if you've spent years sleeping in a warm room, you've trained yourself to expect it. You feel uncomfortable when it's cooler, even though cooler is exactly what your body needs. It's a trap. And for many people, it's a trap that's slowly destroying their health. Let me show you what I mean. Susan was 72 when her daughter brought her to see me. Susan had survived a minor stroke 6 months earlier. The doctor said she was lucky. No major paralysis, no speech problems. Just some weakness on her left side that improved with physical therapy. But Susan was terrified it would happen again. She was doing everything right. Taking her blood pressure medication, eating better, walking every day. But every night, she'd lie awake, anxious, waiting for her body to betray her again. When I reviewed her medical history, I noticed something her cardiologist had documented. Patient is a non-dipper. Blood pressure remains elevated during sleep. I asked Susan about her bedroom. She kept it at 76 degrees. Had for years. She said anything cooler made her feel anxious and uncomfortable. But here's what was happening. Every night, Susan's blood pressure was supposed to drop by 10 to 15%. That nightly dip is crucial for vascular recovery. It gives your blood vessels a break. It reduces strain on your heart. But Susan's blood pressure wasn't dipping. It was staying elevated all night long between 145/90 and 155/95, hour after hour, night after night. Her blood vessels were under constant pressure. And in someone who'd already had one stroke, that constant pressure was like a ticking time bomb. Now, here's the part that frustrated me. Nobody had connected the dots. Her cardiologist knew she was a non dipper, but he didn't ask about her sleep environment. Her primary care doctor knew she wasn't sleeping well, but he just prescribed a sleeping pill. Nobody looked at the whole picture, and Susan was suffering because of it. So we made a plan, a simple one. We were going to gradually lower her bedroom temperature. Not all at once, that would be too uncomfortable, but slowly over the course of a month. Week 1, 74 degrees. Week 2, 72 degrees. Week 3, 70 degrees. Week 4, 68 degrees. And we monitored her blood pressure every single night with a home monitor. What happened next surprised even me. By week 3, Susan's nighttime blood pressure had dropped by an average of 12 points. Systolic. 8 points diastolic. By week 4, she was dipping normally for the first time in years. And she told me something I'll never forget. I feel like I'm finally resting, like my body isn't fighting anymore. Susan didn't just lower her stroke risk. She got her peace of mind back, but it took one simple environmental change that nobody had thought to address. Now, let's talk about what happens when this problem goes on for years. Because poor sleep caused by temperature dysregulation doesn't just affect one system, it cascades. Your metabolism breaks down. When you don't get deep sleep, your body becomes resistant to insulin. Your blood sugar regulation gets worse. For diabetics or pre-diabetics over 50, this can be the difference between managing your condition and spiraling into serious complications. We've seen patients whose A1C levels dropped by half a point just by improving their sleep temperature. No medication changes, just better sleep. Your inflammation levels skyrocket. Chronic poor sleep increases systemic inflammation. And inflammation is the root cause of almost every age-related disease. Heart disease, arthritis, cancer, Alzheimer's. When your body can't cool down at night, inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein and interleukin 6 stay elevated. Your body is in a constant low-grade state of alarm. Your kidney function declines faster. Your kidneys do some of their most important work at night. They filter waste, balance electrolytes, regulate blood pressure. But if your blood pressure isn't dipping, if your body is under stress all night, your kidneys are working overtime. Over years, this accelerates chronic kidney disease. It's one of the hidden reasons why so many seniors end up with declining kidney function that their doctors can't fully explain. Your risk of dementia increases. We talked about the glymphatic system earlier, your brain's waste removal system. But here's the staggering part. A 2019 study published in the journal Sleep found that people who consistently sleep in warmer environments have a 30 to 40% higher risk of cognitive decline over a 10-year period. 30 to 40%. That's not a small number. That's the difference between maintaining your independence in your 70s and 80s or losing yourself to memory loss. And the cruelest part? Most people have no idea this is happening. They just think they're getting older. They think the fatigue, the brain fog, the aches and pains, they think it's inevitable, but it's not. A significant portion of what we call normal aging is actually just the accumulated effects of years of poor sleep. And poor sleep often starts with something as simple as the temperature of your bedroom. So, what do you do about it? Let me give you a step-by-step approach that actually works in the real world. For most people over 50, the ideal bedroom temperature is between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. I know that sounds cold, especially if you've been sleeping at 74 or 75 for years. But here's the thing. You're not supposed to feel cold when you get into bed. That's what blankets are for. The goal is for the ambient air to be cool while you stay warm under covers. That combination allows your core body temperature to drop while you still feel comfortable. Don't go from 75 to 65 overnight. Your body won't adapt well, and you'll just end up uncomfortable and frustrated. Drop the temperature by 1 to 2 degrees per week. Give your body time to adjust. Give your brain time to associate the new temperature with sleep. Within a month, you'll be sleeping at a temperature that actually supports your health instead of undermining it. Use lightweight, breathable sheets. Cotton or linen work best. Then add layers you can adjust: a light blanket, a heavier comforter. The goal is temperature control throughout the night. If you get too warm, you can shed a layer without changing the room temperature. Temperature isn't the only factor, humidity matters too. If your bedroom is humid, above 60%, it's harder for your body to cool down even if the air temperature is right. Consider using a dehumidifier, especially in summer months. Aim for 40 to 50% humidity. This is a common challenge. One person wants it warmer, the other wants it cooler. Here's the solution. Prioritize the cooler temperature for the room and let the person who's colder add more layers. It's much easier to warm up with blankets than it is to cool down in a warm room. If that doesn't work, consider separate blankets or even a dual zone heating pad for the person who runs cold. Pay attention to how you feel. Are you waking up more refreshed? Are you waking up less during the night? Is your brain fog lifting? If you have a blood pressure monitor, check your blood pressure at night and in the morning. See if you're starting to dip properly. If you have a fitness tracker that monitors sleep stages, watch your deep sleep percentage. It should increase. These are objective markers that tell you whether the change is working. Some people need extra help, especially if they're dealing with menopause, night sweats, or certain medications that affect temperature regulation. Cooling mattress pads, bedside fans, or even moisture-wicking sleepwear can make a significant difference. You don't need expensive gadgets. A simple box fan pointed away from you to circulate air can work wonders. Remember Robert, the man who was losing his memory at 67? We lowered his bedroom temperature from 75 degrees to 66 degrees over the course of 6 weeks. At first, he hated it, said it felt like sleeping in a cave, but I told him, just try it for 1 month. Track how you feel, and if it doesn't help, you can go back. 3 weeks in, something shifted. He told me, I'm dreaming again. I haven't had vivid dreams in years. That was the sign. Vivid dreams meant he was entering REM sleep properly. And if he was getting REM sleep, he was almost certainly getting deep sleep too. By week 6, Robert's wife noticed the change before he did. He's not asking me the same question 5 times anymore, she said. He seems sharper. Robert started doing more than crossword puzzles. He started reading again, retaining what he read, having deeper conversations. 6 months later, he told me, I feel like I got my mind back. Now, was it only the bedroom temperature? Maybe not. Maybe other factors played a role. But the temperature change was the catalyst. It was the domino that started everything else falling into place. And that's what I want you to understand. Here's the truth that nobody wants to say out loud. You can't stop aging, but you can stop accelerating it. Every single night, your body is trying to repair itself, trying to protect your brain, trying to rest your heart. And the environment you create, something as simple as the temperature of the room you sleep in, either supports that process or sabotages it. For years, you might have been sabotaging it without even knowing. But now you know, and that means tonight can be different. You don't need a prescription. You don't need expensive supplements. You don't need to overhaul your entire life. You just need to turn down the thermostat, give your body the environment it needs to do what it was designed to do, protect you, restore you, keep you sharp and alive and present for the people who need you. Margaret, the woman I told you about at the beginning, she made the change too. She lowered her bedroom temperature to 67 degrees. She fought it at first, but she stuck with it. And you know what she told me 6 months later? I didn't realize how tired I was until I finally felt rested. That's what I want for you, not just more years, better years, clearer mornings, sharper thinking, a heart that doesn't have to work so hard just to get you through the night. It starts tonight with one small change. If this helped you see something you didn't see before, share it with someone who needs to hear it. A parent, a spouse, a friend who's been struggling with sleep or memory, or just feeling older than they should. And if you want more content like this, real medical insights that actually make a difference in your daily life, subscribe and turn on notifications. Because next week, I'm going to show you the one thing you're doing in the morning that's spiking your blood sugar for the entire day. Even if you're not diabetic, you won't want to miss it. Take care of yourself and sleep cool tonight.